Thank you for your interest in the KES Billfinity NetSuite extension. Billfinity is a built-for NetSuite recurring billing and subscription management tool that makes it easy for your organization to set up, maintain, and adjust your recurring billing and related revenue recognition, all directly inside of your NetSuite environment. After watching this demo, reach out to us if you'd like more information or a personalized demo. Setting up for Billfinity is primarily done via a configuration screen that we work with you to get set up. If you later want to make changes to this setup, you can make changes on this config screen or reach out to us to assist. Once core setup is configured, you just need to set up billing frequencies, subscription items, and then actual subscriptions. Any number of billing frequencies can be set up, and they define how often a subscription will be billed. To mark an item as a subscription item, simply check the Is Subscription Item checkbox. This tells us that when the item is invoiced, we should set it up for ongoing recurring billing. This is also where you can define a default billing frequency from the list you have set up. This billing frequency will default onto your sales transactions automatically. This is what a Billfinity subscription record looks like after it gets set up. It is basically a set of rules for what should be invoiced, how often, and how much it should cost. It is also used to set up your metrics like ARR or MRR. Subscriptions are typically automatically created through a sales transaction. This can be through a sales order, then an invoice, or directly through an invoice. When I select a subscription item that has a default billing frequency, it automatically populates here. We also populate the transaction start and end date based on this frequency. I'll populate the contract end date to say that this is a 3-year contract. If non-subscription items are added to this invoice, like a setup fee, RevRec dates are not populated and this item will only be billed one time. Once an invoice is created and approved, a subscription record will then be created automatically and linked to this invoice for any items on the invoice marked as subscription items. This is shown in the linked subscription field. If I select this, here is the subscription that was created, using all of the information brought over from the invoice. Subscriptions can also be manually created through Billfinity, Subscriptions, Subscription, New. Alternatively, they can be brought in via CSV import or an integration. If billing automation is turned on, which is the case for most customers, the billing process will run automatically each day for any active subscriptions based on their next bill date, or earlier if days to bill in advance has a value. To manually execute this process in bulk, you can kick it off through Billfinity, Subscriptions, Run Billing. To manually process the next billing for a specific subscription, you can select the Bill Now button on a subscription. This will process immediately, but will still be dated based on the next billing date. Whichever approach is taken, Billfinity will generate the next sales transaction and update the subscription record to show billing has been completed and is now scheduled for the next billing frequency. Now that this subscription is finished billing, I can see the next billing date updated to 2026, and in the related records list, you can see the invoice that was just created. Billfinity also allows for uplift management. Uplift amounts and frequencies can be populated at the subscription header, meaning the uplift will occur for all line items, or it can be populated on individual lines to only uplift those lines specifically. To set up uplift either at the header or line, populate the uplift fields, either amount or percent, along with frequency, which is what I've just done here. Just like with billing, most customers have uplift automation turned on, which means this will run automatically each day for any active subscriptions based on their uplift date, or earlier if days to bill in advance has a value, and will execute prior to the automated billing process. To manually execute uplifts in bulk, kick it off through Billfinity, Subscriptions, Run Uplift. And to manually uplift a single subscription, select the Uplift Now button. Now that this uplift has processed, the ARR and MRR has updated, and the next uplift date has updated since I set an annual frequency. Billfinity also makes it easy to manage cancellations and holds. If you want to immediately cancel a subscription, you can change the status to canceled. The canceled date will populate once this is saved, and it will no longer process going forward. Alternatively, you can set a cancellation date in the future if a customer will be canceling then, and the subscription will continue to bill until that date. You'll also notice in the status dropdown that we have an on hold status. If a customer is still in negotiations and is unsure if they will renew their subscription, for example, you can set the status to on hold so that the subscription is not canceled but billing is paused. As far as revenue recognition, Billfinity works with your environment regardless of whether or not you have advanced revenue management enabled in your account. If ARM is enabled, you can enable that in Billfinity configuration, and NetSuite will create revenue arrangements. If you only have basic RevRec requirements, you can change this to RevRec with amortization, and amortization schedules will be created in their place. Either way, your revenue recognition is covered. Billfinity also has a few premium features with our premium version. One premium feature is the ability to integrate with external CRM systems. These fields will specify that the sales transaction came from an external CRM, and if it's a new sale, an upsell, or a renewal. This allows Billfinity subscriptions to be updated and data to be available to push back. The other premium feature is usage billing. This is for organizations that have variable billing within a subscription, such as energy usage, data calls, or cell phone minutes. A subscription usage record can be created manually, but more commonly it is brought in via CSV import or an integration. Upon billing, any usage items that haven't been billed yet will be included in the billing transaction. Usage history remains here on the subscription for both reference and analysis, and we have several options for how usage should display on generated invoices. To give you an idea of what this looks like, we'll go to the most recent one of these usages and open the billing transaction. This was the invoice that was created, and all of the usage for this billing period is included on the lines. And on that invoice, you can see there's a file attached with the full usage detail. Here's what that CSV file looks like for this particular invoice. This can be sent out along with the invoice to the customer so that the details can be viewed. Billfinity includes a number of management reports, but the most used are the billing forecast and future revenue forecast. Billing forecast takes everything that's set up and tells you when it's going to next bill. Future revenue forecast is similar, but it's looking at revenue recognition based on that billing. Thank you for your interest, and we look forward to having you as a Billfinity customer.